President Trump just seems to be dropping the mask entirely, admitting openly that he finds free speech to be a problem that he's eager to take away, and literally comparing his regime to Germany in the 1930s. Buckle up for this one, lads. Things are getting even weirder than I thought possible. Hit subscribe, and by the way, if you want to support me, you can imagine covering stories like this doesn't exactly get me advertisers beating down my door, so I depend on you guys to help me out at combatvetnews.com. You can get all my videos, even the ones the algorithm doesn't really want you to see, and of course, you can also get access to twice a week exclusive combat videos analyzing footage from Ukraine, including stuff that is sent to me directly from some of the drone units there that I met. So the link is in the description. Help me out. Thanks. All right, buckle up for this one. This is a direct quote from President Donald Trump. He bragged, quote, "We took away the freedom of speech." This is, of course, talking about the fact that he believes that he signed an executive order banning flag burning, saying that, again, he said, quote, "We've made it a 1-year penalty for inciting riots." Not true. He then continues, he says, "We took the freedom of speech away because it's been through the courts. When they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds." He continued, "We're looking at it not from free speech, which I always felt strongly about, but from one that the courts never passed." That barely makes sense, is also not true. But what he thinks he's saying is that he signed an executive order, and the executive order, which does not have the force of law, and said simply that the Justice Department should look into charging people that burn the American flag, and that he would recommend a 1-year sentence. Now, I want to be clear. This U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that the right to burn the flag is protected speech. It is an act of protest that is absolutely seen as essential political speech against the actions of the government. And the president's claim that the Supreme Court has said otherwise is simply not true. Now, there is some level of free speech restriction. For example, you can't, let's say, have a sort of protest type event, maybe at like the U.S. Capitol or another sensitive site. And you can't simply say, "Hey, you guys should go into the U.S. Capitol because they're doing something you don't like. You should go in there, and if the cops try to stop you, you should beat them. And then you should get into it. You should go into the Capitol." That is actually illegal speech. It's inciting a riot. You're literally telling people, "Go forth and riot on my behalf." So that would be illegal. That would be speech that could be prosecuted if the government had a spine. But peaceful protest that doesn't harm anyone is protected. Now, that doesn't mean that I can build a 40-foot tall bonfire of American flags and light it on fire in a redwood forest, right? Like, there's obviously a balance to these things. And that's sort of what Trump's executive order, the way it was actually written, said. It was just like, well, if somebody does something really stupid, you could try to go after them for, endangering redwoods or whatever. But the fact that he believes this, and he believes that he just took freedom of speech away because Americans were free speeching a little too hard, like, freedom of speech is not the president's to restrict. I can't make this more clear. And even though he himself is delusional and disconnected from reality, because we watched a video on this channel of a guy burning an American flag in an act of protest. And he was escorted off the premises, but was not charged. I think they maybe tried to get him with disorderly conduct, but a judge threw that out almost immediately. So again, the problem is not that he's saying something stupid. That wouldn't make the news. I wouldn't make a video about that. The problem is that he believes these things are appropriate actions. He believes that he himself personally has the right to take away free speech if he doesn't like it. But that's not even the most unhinged thing, right, about this press conference. Now, this was a standard Trump stage managed meeting with a very Russian kind of vibe. In fact, on this channel, we've watched a bunch of the Russian press conferences, and this is what they all look like. They are incredibly stage managed. Each person reads from a script in which they say how the special military operation is going so good and so effective, and Vladimir Putin, you're so smart, and we are destroying the Ukrainians. They have no chance, and they just hold these stage managed meetings for just every month for years, and obviously none of them are true. But the insane part is some of the stuff that was said, because they actually let in some. I mean, listen to this one. This is from Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem saying Antifa wants to destroy the American people and their way of life. The group has infiltrated our entire country from city to city. Right. You can't infiltrate a country. It doesn't make any sense. They're not infiltrators, even when they are arrested for rioting. Something, by the way, that happened under both Trump and Biden. Rioters get charged with rioting, but peaceful protesters, they have a right to protest. She literally said, Antifa is just as dangerous as MS-13, ISIS, and Hamas. And her priority is making sure they never see the light again. Now, I want to point out that I will make her an offer. I will go to a city in Portland with my kids. I will stand at an Antifa protest. I will introduce my kids to an Antifa protester. And if she goes and introduces her kids to Hamas, it's a good deal. I don't know if she has kids. She doesn't seem like someone that anyone would ever want to have kids with, but who am I to judge? Take your kids, leave them with, introduce them to Hamas. That's a simple deal, right? Hamas is just as bad, right? Just as dangerous. We should assume equal risk for our kids, right? So this is absolutely some just full-on stupid. Influencer Brandy Cruz did a monologue about how, quote, she used to suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, and how since she changed sides and now she says, I'm happier, I'm more healthy, I think I'm even a bit more attractive. Jack Probasek, this is a right-wing person who believes actually in Pizzagate. So he believes that the Democratic Party is a party of Satan, Satan-worshipping, blood-drinking Kabbalists, but he notably is in the same room as someone who has strong association with Jeffrey Epstein and is working tirelessly to protect Jeffrey Epstein's network, and a certain someone who might have been his best friend is truly mind-numbing and mind-boggling. Probasek, listen to this. He said, Antifa is so clearly real. Quote, it has been going on for almost 100 years, going back to the Weimar Republic in Germany. Now, lads, I honestly think this has to be a troll. He has to be trolling him. And because, you know what, join me in listening to the actual quote, because this is literally hard to fathom. Okay, this is 2 minutes long, but let's see. But again, listen to how stage managed this is.
Please say a few words.
Mr. President, thank you so much for...
Let's see. Let's see if we can make sure the volume is not crazy. This is as good as you're gonna get.
Having us here today and holding this this roundtable. Antifa is real. Antifa has been around in various iterations for almost 100 years in some instances, going back to the Weimar Republic in Germany. And it's now been just under 1 month.
Okay, so I want to point out that the people who were against the Nazis in Germany in the 30s, they were probably the good guys. I don't know what else to tell you. It turns out they weren't extremists. They had accurately perceived the threat. So, sitting there and telling the president, guys, those people that hate you, they're the same people that hated Hitler. That's not the compliment you think it is. The fact that the president's reaction to obviously being compared to Hitler is complete apathy. He doesn't even seem aware that the shots have been fired. He literally, the guys, you were watching him dodge the second assassination attempt because it goes right over his head that he just got called Hitler. Just whoosh. And truly an insane take from Jack Probasek. But you almost, if Jack Probasek wasn't also himself a conspiracy theorist and very likely his own, well, he probably thinks he's giving President Trump a compliment. That's what I'll say. about him. Again, he's a massive conspiracy theorist with ties to far right extremists. In fact, let's see, he's published multiple posts containing the white supremacist code 1488 or the 14 words. Supports the use of a slogan. He tweeted triple parentheses an anti-Semitic symbol. I don't know. Some of it's a little light, but like 1488 is it's not. He also was promoted on Twitter, a Polish neo-Nazi movement. Like he thinks he's giving them a compliment. Southern Poverty Law Center called Probsec an extremist. Citing is linked to the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, white nationalists, neo-Nazis, anti-government extremists. By the way, imagine being an anti-government extremist and then literally sitting at a round table and glazing the president of the United States. Like truly, like just insane. Just truly unhinged. Anyway, guys, this is your president. If you voted for him, you probably should rethink that one. Donate to candidates you think would do a better job of running the country, and remember to vote. Anyway, thanks to our Colonel tier members, including guys like Sergei Zinchenko, Al Nutson, Alfred Chesky, Al90, James Porsche, and all of our Lieutenant tier members. Stay good to each other, and you can subscribe if you want. That helps. See ya.